Clap your hands, stomp your feet, do something for the man, the Godfather of Soul. He
All
is here
right.
right now today, and he's going to give tell his story and all these things. We're going to talk about the Razzle Dazzle of the Cotton Club and the Moulin Rouge era. And but before we do that, we're going to hit a little thing called sponsorship. And one of our sponsors is the show, and the show is brought to you by Stop the Madness Productions. And Stop the Madness Production is a very lovely production company spearheaded by my wife Mary Anderson. And DNC Records is with Dwayne Anderson and Dwayne Anderson's studio and movies and film. But I just want to do this here thing first before we do this. And I just want to share something with you. Here's a commercial that we're doing for the Cotton Club and the Moulin Rouge era, and it goes a little bit like this. And action. And but before we do that, here we go. Before we do that, I just want to say, hey, love, peace, and soul, and check this out right here. Gonna tell you about the jumping jive. Jim jump the jumping jive. Cat's gonna beat out this mellow jive. Beat it out on the Miller side. Oh boy. Alamo, Shalimar, Swanee Shore. Let me dig that jive once more. Boy. Oh boy. If you give those happy cats call, come on boys, let's have a ball. Makes you not put on when you both put by. Now don't you be that nickaroo, get hip, come on and follow through. Then you get your steady flow, you make your jump like a gator do. The jam makes you like your egg on the Jersey side. The jam jumping jive makes you hip on the middle side. Jumping jive makes you hip on the man side. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. And I'm glad you're here. We have the wonderful, the powerful, the incomparable Mr. James Brown is on the set right now. And we're about to interview him and hear his phenomenal story. But before we go, check this out, y'all. Yeah. That's where the show will be. At the Flamingo Library. You can get your tickets on the ticket link on any one of our Facebook pages or YouTube or Twitter. All right. For now, without any further ado, put your hands together, y'all, for the incomparable James Brown, y'all. Come on, clap your hands. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing great. Hey, how are you doing?
I'm just flabbergasted because I have the opportunity to interview one of my favorite singers, and that's you. And today some people are going to learn some things about you that they don't know. You know, they usually go out and they see you singing, performing, and doing your thing, but they really don't know your story. You know, and everybody has a story that brought them to where they are right now. You know what I mean? So
that's right.
I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and some of the questions I'm pretty sure is what the people want to know and know about you. And we're going to talk about the show as well. And I'm hype it up and talk about the tickets and the flyers that we have and everything that we're going to do to get this show off onto the stage and onto the finish line. First question I want to ask you, sir. And by the way, you look very entertaining and debonair.
Oh, thank you.
I'm going to start with how long have you been in an entertainment business here in Las Vegas? Or
period. Well, in Las Vegas.
Start with in Las Vegas.
I started performing here in 1990 for about 15 years. And then I left, went to Reno for about a couple of years. Then I went back to Los Angeles, where I'm from. This was about, I left Las Vegas about 2005. And I've been in and out performing, and I just moved back June the 4th, and I've been performing. So I would say altogether, off and on, for about 28, 29 years.
Okay, that's wonderful. 28, 29 years.
In Vegas, yeah.
Wow. So a lot of young brothers need to sit up in the front row and learn from you as well. You know, a lot of people, they see your show and you got so much energy. You got so much. I mean, it's like you're ever ready battery. You know, you got this energy, and I don't know if it's coming from your soul or the Holy Ghost or whatever combination of the two. Something happening there, but it's like
all of it.
Dynamite. Yeah. And my second question for you is why do you love to do music? Why do you do what you do, and what motivates you?
Well, right now, what motivates me now is myself. I've always been self-motivated. And I would say the Lord and my soul, spirit, it's like a need for me. It's something I have to have.
Yes, sir.
In order for me not to lose my mind. Basically.
Oh yeah, so it's more like therapy as well.
Yeah, it's a part of me.
Part of you.
So I guess because I started so young, but when I made up my mind, I made up my mind to go all the way, no matter what. And this was when I was about 11. And once my stepfather realized what I was doing when he caught me practicing, he basically told me he was going to put me on stage. and I didn't think it was going to be so soon. Um, I remember he said he got a show for me with him in the band. By the way, they were called Joe Ragland and the Fantastics, rhythm and blues band.
Uh-huh.
And I remember he told me that we were going to rehearse. So I was all excited, because I had been practicing, I guess, a couple of years. And the first show was at Doodle's Music Center in Compton, California. Doodle's Music Center was one of the number one entertainment spots, like for top black artists like Smokey Robinson and Miracles, The Temptations, Bobby Blue Bland. I can go on and on and on.
Hmm.
Rail, the Marvelettes.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Yes.
Uh,
Yeah, I got you. And so you pretty much was influenced by a lot of these artists back in that era that got you
yeah,
motivated into this entertainment industry. Um, let me ask you this question. So now you're about to do the Razzle Dazzle of the Cotton Club and the Moulin Rouge, and
yeah,
as a matter of fact, you had some experience with the Moulin Rouge. Can you
yeah,
expound on that story right there?
yeah. In 1990, I was on a show with the Joe Campbell Orchestra out of Los Angeles, and the star of that show was a blues singer by the name Buddy Ace, and they called him the Silver Fox. He had a few blues records out,
Uh huh.
and we the place was the casino. I forgot the name of it, but it was around the corner from the Moulin Rouge.
Okay.
And so, mind you, the casino's on Jackson Street, but I forgot the name of
Hmm.
it. And at that time, the same time we were booked, I was booked at the Moulin Rouge, but I canceled the show from LA because
Hmm.
I knew I was going to have to do two shows opening for Buddy Ace. And we did the first show, and then after that, the guitar player by the name of Charlie Tuna, who played with BB King, um, they said, well, let's walk around to the Moulin Rouge on our break and see what's going on. And I
Hmm.
told him, well, I was supposed to have been performing there, but I canceled. So as soon as we got to the Moulin Rouge, my picture was in the window, and it said playing tonight. They didn't cancel. So I
Oh,
walked in, me and Charlie Tuna, he had his guitar with him.
yeah.
And soon as I walked in, they were hollering, King James Brown is here. He's here.
Hmm.
So I went on stage and I used Charlie Tuna to play guitar, and it was the drummer was Ollie LeMay. I forgot who the bass player was and the keyboard, but I did the show.
Wow.
And yeah, and then they said I said I was performing around the corner too.
Uh huh.
So they said, when you get through, I'll be back for the second show. So we finished the Buddy A show with Joe Campbell and his orchestra. I went back around and did the second show. Then they wanted me to do 3 more months.
Okay.
The follow every 3 months on the weekend. So basically, I they gave me a room at the Moulin Rouge Hotel, right in
Uh,
back of the Moulin Rouge,
well,
and
now
I
in
was.
those days,
Mm,
not to sorry to cut you off, but in those days, was it racial tension as far as your stay there?
Not at the Moulin Rouge, no.
Uh huh.
uh, because Moulin Rouge is black owned.
Right.
So the hotels, mostly everybody that was in that hotel in the back were black. Some of
Mm.
the staff that worked at the Moulin Rouge lived there too.
Okay, I got
Um, but as far as racism, that was here. Even though as an entertainer, I had a lot of Caucasian musician friends
Great.
and entertainers, so I had both sides.
Mm-hmm.
But I noticed that at that time, a lot of black people on the west side, a lot of them didn't go to the strip.
Right.
And back then, I really couldn't figure it out. I heard stories, um, but the Moulin Rouge back then um, was they had another room where they used to have a lot of dances and parties. The
It's
shows were in the small lounge.
like the Can
Um,
Can girls, and
yeah, now
uh
that part right there, when you had the dancing girls and stuff,
huh.
they were past that by the time I got to Moulin Rouge. But
Oh,
there was another room that I used to see. It had big, giant double doors with a big padlock and giant chain on it. And
mm,
the custodian, huh?
go ahead. I'm
Yeah,
enjoying
and the
the story.
custodian there, I forgot his name.
Uh
I was in the Moulin Rouge in the daytime. Uh, I guess I was buying food or something, and he wanted to show me this big room with the padlock and the big locks on.
uh
And he asked me, had I ever been in there? I said, no, you know. And so he unlocked it and he opened these big giant doors, and there was a big club inside that looked like it was from the roaring 20s,
woo,
30s. It had
man.
all the old carvings, the
Yeah.
grand piano, the bar. It had pictures of Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., uh, Lena Horne, Dorothy Dandridge, uh, Marilyn Monroe.
Mm.
Uh, and this is where they used to, after they finished on the strip, they would go to the Moulin Rouge, white entertainers, black entertainers, musicians, and this was the room they used to party and after hour, and they would go all through the daytime.
So
And
that's how. Uh,
yeah, and it was everything was under sheets. The
right. Right.
bar, he
Uh huh.
took the sheets off, and it was history. It was exactly like the Moulin Rouge originally looked back in the 20s and 30s or whatever it was, the 40s.
Uh
And so I got a chance to, I stayed back there for about an hour and
huh.
we were talking about the history. And he
Right.
says that nobody other than me has ever seen that room
Wow.
at that time.
Now that
So
was a blessing and a half.
yeah, yeah.
Mm,
So
yeah.
I came in, I would say the last 5 years of when the Moulin Rouge was really, really going, you know. But that part of history, I asked him, I said, why don't you open up this side? He
Right.
said it's so historical, they don't want to ruin it. So they were saving it, you know. And
Right.
so I got a chance to see that. Uh, it was great, you
Right. As a
know.
matter of fact, the Moulin Rouge was the one of the first multicultural that had white and black actually
Right,
to
right,
perform in one casino or building or hotel. Well, let me ask you this. Now, this Razzle Dazzle, the Cotton Club and Moulin Rouge era, this is a show that's honoring Black History Month. And so my question
right.
is, uh, how's it feel to be doing something for Black History Month once again?
Oh, it's an honor. It's an honor. I mean, even for me to be even asked or chosen, however you want to say that, uh, for me to offer my talents and my spiritual self to be able to, it's honor. Moulin Rouge is a great story, and I'm happy that I'm doing it because the fact that I used to perform at the Moulin Rouge.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, and so it's an honor. It's Black History period. I love to represent my race. I love to entertain to all races.
Hmm.
Because my only task on earth is to make people happy, smile, and do the best I can.
Well, that you do. I seen you live and everything, and you like electricity. You're like a stick of dynamite once you get behind that mic. And so since we're on that, I just want to hit you with this question: how do you prepare for a show? Do you what do you exercise? You work out? You meditate?
I do meditate. Uh, there are times I don't have to, uh, but most of the time, if I know I'm doing a show, oh, a backdrop fail. But anyway, um,
Well, at least you're real back.
I pretty much two
Yeah.
days or 3 days before the show, I'm
Right.
starting to lock in spiritually and mentally,
Okay.
soulfully.
Hmm.
And so I've been doing this so long, I go over what I'm doing as far as movement on stage. Um, I have this movie screen in my head. So by the time I get where the show is, I pretty much know what I'm going to do. Except for as soon as I get there, I read the audience.
Uh huh.
Because my show is mainly based on me reading the audience. That's the way I perform. And a
Excellent.
lot of times I do not make a set list unless I'm in a situation where I'm working with a band that
Uh huh.
really don't know all my innuendos
Right.
that I'm
Right.
doing on stage.
Yeah. Your
Uh,
breakdowns and your intros and all
yeah,
that stuff.
yeah. And so pretty much I study the audience, and
Hmm.
so I automatically know the first song. The first
When
song
when
leads me to the next song,
Well, hold that
basically.
thought right there. Well, hold that thought while you're hitting your backdrop. I'm going to let the people know where to get the tickets and everything. All right, and then that way you can go ahead and hook your backdrop up. So we do this here.
Yeah.
We do this here.
Okay.
We're going to let you know that this is a benefit for Pernell Walken's family, and this is a benefit for my son who was killed tragically last month. It was a hit and run accident, and the guy hit him and killed him and left. And so this is a benefit for his children, and we honorably want to do it for Black History Month as well. So all the proceeds, part of the proceeds, are going to his children. So it's a worthy cause. And so this right here, this video, is going to let you know where you can get some of your tickets from. Get ready for the razzle dazzle of the Cotton Club and Moulin Rouge era. Tickets are available now. Get your tickets at every link on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn. It is an all-star cast of the greatest performers, some of the greatest performers in Las Vegas. Get ready, Las Vegas, for the razzle dazzle of the Moulin Rouge and Cotton Club era. So back to you. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Well, I did the best.
Well, ladies, it looks good. It looks good. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is once again. We have the incomparable, the phenomenal James Brown. And James Brown, I'm gonna hit you with a couple more questions before we finish this.
Okay.
And let me do this here thing like this. Uh, the next question I have for you is, you have uh, done this for such a long time that I know you have a lot of stories and you have a lot of experience. But young people, there's a lot of young people that want to do what you do, and so if you had a message that you want to give the young people because they want to do some entertainment and they want to do it like you do it, but there's some ups and there's some downs, and they need to know, it's not all flowers and cotton candy. So there's some ups and downs. I know pretty sure that you've been a whole lot. You've been through some things because I could tell by the way you perform that you've been through a lot of stuff. Because you got a
Yeah,
lot of soul and you sing with a lot of passion. So, what do you
yeah.
have to tell the young people? Something inspirational that can guide them and lead them to the right path into the music industry here in Las Vegas.
Well, the music industry, well, period. The first thing you have to have is confidence. Don't be scared. Um, and you just you you have to believe you can do it. You have to have those things built in. Because when you start out, there's really nobody unless you have a musical family that can guide you. But in my case, I believed on my own. Didn't nobody tell me. I just believed that I could do it. To get through this business, you don't think about the ups and downs first. You don't even know anything about that yet. Um, you concentrate on I can do it, and don't look for the money. You gotta your approach to this business. It's all about being the best singer, performer, musician, or all of it, and believe you can do it. And those obstacles will come, but you got to be in love with it. You got to be in love with it because when those obstacles do come, you're not really you learn from it, and most entertainers are sensitive too. So it's gonna hurt, but that's just gonna make you stronger and come back. Meaning, when I was growing up, every nightclub in Los Angeles had a band. So I started out practicing in the mirror, and but I always felt my best training would come on stage in front of a live audience.
Correct.
So
Yes.
I spent my time on stage in front of a live audience, even when I wasn't that good.
Hmm.
But um, and I did this night after night, sometimes 3 clubs a night. And I would, if I didn't have a car, I would walk, catch the bus, however, whatever I had to do to get there. And there was no money, but they were giving me a chance to get on stage. And I would do this at every club until the point that every band that was in every club, when I walk in, knew my stuff.
Right.
I
Right.
started out just showcasing myself, but they knew I had something, and they just on stage until I built audiences all over LA.
Wow.
And
Phenomenal.
this what didn't happen overnight. I
Right.
spent, night after night, after hours, you name it.
Hmm.
Um, even ran around with the Soul Train gang.
Huh?
Excuse me. Yeah, during that time. So I was, and my mindset was, it was, in LA you had all these nightclubs, and so some nights I would just dance all night for hours.
Right. Right.
And
Well, you had that drive and you had that
so
motivation, and you was hungry.
wait, anyway, so so what happened was there was this nightclub called the California Club,
Uh huh.
which was owned by a guy by the name of Don, called the Johnny Otis Orchestra,
Uh huh.
and they would and people like Rudy Ray Moore, Leroy Skillet, Comedy Team, Red Fox, all your blues artists, Big Mama Thornton, Bobby Blue Bland, Tyrone Davis, ZZ Hill, Johnny Taylor, would always congregate there, and I was performing there every night.
Wow. So
And
no wonder. Just to hold that thought. So no wonder you have such musical motivation and inspiration for everybody. So we're running for lack of time. We're running out of time. But I just want to get this one last question in before I forget
okay,
to do it. You know, a lot of people. say that James Brown can do anything on the spot. If I was to ask James Brown, hey, James Brown, can you sing a note for me? You would be able to do it just right there on the spot. Now, if I say, James Brown,
Right.
sing a song, just hit a note for me to inspire me to go into the studio and write, you can do it. So, James Brown, I'm trying to inspire you to hit that note right now to inspire me to go down to Boston's and sing or whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, James Brown.
Oh, oh, I feel good, like I knew that I would now. I feel good, I knew that I would now. You're so good, you're so good. I got a you. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, I feel nice, like a sugar and spice.
Uh-huh.
I feel nice, a sugar and spice. You're so nice, you're so nice. I got a you. Bum, 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 bum. Try me, try me. Darling, tell me I need you. Oh, I need you. I need you. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Woo! Come on, brother. Come on, my brother. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the phenomenal, the incomparable James Brown. Now, we're going to do this show on the February 5th. It's
Yes.
called the Razzle Dazzle at the Cotton Club in the Moulin Rouge. You can see him doing that particular song with the nine-piece orchestra, background singers, and you and tap dancers, and then the whole works. We're going to have it, and you'll have the incomparable James Brown there. Come on, clap your hands, stomp your feet, do something for the man, James Brown.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Love you guys.
We love you. We love you. Love you. And we'll talk to you soon, brother. And ladies and gentlemen, we got the flyers. We'll be in different businesses and stores. We have cards. We have tickets. We got everything you need. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to our next segment. But just, I just thank you. Just, it's an honor just to do an interview with you, James Brown, because you're one of my favorite artists here in Las Vegas and everything. You keep on doing what you're doing, man. Very inspirational. Very inspirational story.
Thank you. Thank you. You're a hell of an entertainer yourself.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a little break and we'll be back in 5.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.